What's going on?
So good to see you. You and I actually met years ago. I was hosting a show here in Portland with Daria.
Oh,
And you came into the studio. It was a pleasure to meet you then, and it's a pleasure to see you now.
Well, I know your voice, man. I mean,
where are you? You in LA?
I live in Pasadena. I moved down here when my daughter went to college, my eldest daughter, back in 2011, and I moved down here just to generate more work, you know, and it's paid off. I've started a couple of tours. I've produced a lot of people, so it's been good.
Everclear is performing at the Crystal Ballroom here in Portland on November 13th. Do you remember Everclear's very first paid gig?
Yeah.
Do you know where it was?
Oh yeah, it was at Satiricon.
The
Satiricon is on a Thursday night, and man, after that, if I had $1 for every person that said they were at that show, it was with an old school Portland punk band, Napalm Beach, and
I think I have heard of them. Yeah,
they were like old school, and there was nobody there, dude, when we played. I mean, it was like a couple of the other band guys, a couple of bored waitresses, you know. But that was our first show. That was summer of '93, and we were that was. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, we were so hard up to get gigs, but no, that was not 93. That was 92. That was 92, summer 92. And by the end of the year, it just was getting dismal. We had a few shows here and there. I had the Belmont Tavern and like a couple of frat gigs and this and that. But finally, I met this guy who had a studio in his basement. And for $400, I could record every song that we had. And I did. And just to see what I had, because otherwise I was just going to break up the band. And it sounded pretty great. So that became our first record.
After an 18-month hiatus from performing, does it feel good to be back on stage? And does it feel different than pre-pandemic?
Well, it doesn't feel different being on stage. It feels different with everything else. Like, we've toured since April. We've played almost 70 shows this year, and not one person. And there was at times when we had 67 people on the whole tour with all the bands and crew and everything. Not one person got COVID, but we had a very, very strict, strong protocol. Masks everywhere, inside, on stage, unless you're playing, unless you're performing. Yeah. But no one got sick, so I think we did, and everybody had to be vaxxed. It wasn't even an option.
It would appear you believe in science.
Crazy, right? Of course, these I don't know what these magic things are that make me see. I can see the future.
Yeah, I have them too. A newly acquired magic.
Are you a magician as well? Wow. Are you a wizard?
Everclear's last studio album was out in 2015. Black is the New Black. Are you still writing new music?
You know, I just started. I haven't been interested really in writing new music lately, and to be honest with you, but just in the last 6 months, I've been playing with ideas. Like, I'm going to play a couple of parties with friends and do some old rock and roll songs, and I'm just now getting into doing stuff other than Everclear. Playing the shows. I'm thinking maybe in a couple of years. I just don't really feel the need, man. I've made 10 albums with Everclear. You know, I've said pretty much everything I need to say, and I got a good life. I'm not chasing the carrot like I was when I was younger. And
it sounds like you're in a good place. That must be a place of contentment.
It is. Well, I'm not total contentment. I'm going to school. I'm content. I'm not complacent. Let's say that. I'm taking classes to finish my 4-year degree, which I never got, and working with people as a coach and as a counselor. That's what I'm working towards. You know, I have 32 years sobriety, and I've been very involved with working with new people. And because of COVID, it's just been crazy. But with Zoom and everything online, it's just been a real blessing for people in the program, and just People are just trying to get well and trying to figure things out.
Art, I had
So,
read that you are working to become a life coach. Why is giving back? Why is service to others so important to you at this stage in your life?
well, for me personally, it's being of service for others. I don't know if you know this, but in the big book, the Alcoholic Anonymous big book, it's one of the cornerstones. It's one of the steps, being of service. That's the only way we can build back our self-esteem after being addicts and alcoholics our whole life. And still, I'm an addict and alcoholic 32 years later, just because I don't drink, it's still there inside of me. So that being said, also, I'm a dad, I love being of service to people. I feel like I've been of service to people with my music, in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people have told me that. So it seems like a natural progression for me to get in to work with people and just to go from there. And, I feel good about playing on stage still, but I got MS. I got diagnosed 5 years ago, and walking is a little hard for me. Not that I don't walk, but it's not pretty. And I don't know how long I'm just a realist. Someday I might not be able to perform on stage like I want to. I might have to sit down, which is not very punk.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it is what it is. But right now I'm full steam ahead.
Like all of us, there have been many times in your life that are super challenging. You may have even been tempted just to give up, but your tenacity just seems to keep pushing you forward. What's the secret? How do you do it?
My mom taught me it. My mom was the most tenacious person I ever knew. Tenacity is a huge part of anyone's success. And I tell that to people. It's like, they're like, well, can you give me some advice? I go, yeah, don't give up. Seriously. I mean, it sounds like a Hallmark card, trope, but it really is true. If you want something bad enough, you can't give up. You got to be like water. You got to go over, under, through, whatever it takes to get that. That doesn't mean be a jerk to people. That doesn't mean lie. That doesn't mean do anything you can. It means do anything in your power in a positive way to make your dream real. And sometimes your dream has to change or morph,
Absolutely.
Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Life is good here in Portland. We're finally getting some typical Portland autumn weather. It's finally cloudy and rainy, and all of us true Northwesterners love it.
I love it too, man. It was raining here the last couple of days, and my whole family was like, it feels like Portland, sitting there with a nice warm. As long as you're not out in it, it's okay.
Everclear is at the Crystal Ballroom Saturday, November 13th. That is going to be a wonderful show. Art, thank you for the music, and thanks again for taking the time. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, Mitch. Good to see you.
Stay safe. Thank you.
You too.